$5 million in state funding could soon be going toward making Columbia's Devine Street corridor a little less treacherous for drivers.
Yeah, it's not an easy road to drive or to park on. A budget earmark championed by State Representative Seth Rose proposes to take the stretch of road from 5 points in Columbia up to the Millwood Avenue by Dreer High School from 4 lanes to 2 lanes with a center turn lane. Nick Neville walks us through the project.
Now, if you've ever driven down Devine Street, you know just how dangerous it can be with its tight quarters and these angled parking spots. In fact, when we were out here earlier today, we almost saw an accident as someone tried to back out of one of these spots. The Devine Street Association says that it made a push for these funds after news of another similar project that's about to happen in 5 points along Hardin Street. It's a familiar sound along Columbia's Devine Street, and one state lawmakers are hoping to address with a potential $1.5 million investment aiming to make the corridor safer.
This is something that I'm passionate about, is making House District 72, downtown Columbia, more walkable, more bikeable, more pedestrian friendly.
The funds, which would come in the form of a budget earmark, could reduce the number of lanes on Devine, add a bike lane, and improve parking.
The DOT told me, the experts told me, Seth, to address the issues and concerns of the neighborhoods, the merchants, the parking issues, we need to have 1.5 million.
Among the issues with its current design is that when these parking spaces were put in place, cars were much smaller, and you just didn't see big SUVs like those that are on the roads today. You'll often see cars pulled up on the curb to avoid getting hit.
That's a big car to be driving down this with 4 lanes taken up. So my daughters didn't like driving down this road when they were learning, and everybody would take Blossom Street because it was just easier.
Some businesses along Devine have even paid out of pocket to have sidewalks redone. A manager at Slate, a women's clothing boutique here, says these efforts would provide more of a sense of security for her customers.
Just the access and ease of parking and knowing that their mirror's not going to get sideswiped and that they can get in and out of their car safely, because people do also speed down Devine Street. I know they put in a lot of stoplights and all of that to help with that, but people still do speed. So I think it would definitely increase traffic for us.
The governor still has to sign off on this budget earmark before it becomes official. If and when he does that, Rose says the Department of Transportation is then going to be conducting a study to determine how to best utilize these funds. And then there's going to be a public input session at some point in the fall when members of the community, business leaders can come together and have their voices heard. Reporting in Columbia, Nick Neville, WIS News 10.
Thank you. And the Devine Street Association says it has been more than 2 decades since there has been any significant improvement to that Devine Street corridor. In addition to the safety improvements, they would also like to see some aesthetic ones and have street lights there replaced.